There was a time when the mic was working. I thought I'd have to do it all myself. Didn't know the grace of God was at hand. But now I know with God's love I can do anything. God's love is at hand.
And I say, if you feel discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go.
Gotta let it all go.
And this is what you have to do. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. There's no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. Yes, I'm free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. Don't you know that I release and I let go? Gonna let the Spirit run my life. Yes, yes, I release and I let go. Gonna let the Spirit run my life. Don't you know that I release and I let go? I'm gonna let the Spirit run my life. Yes, I'm free
In the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yay! Awesome! Please take that energy and greet your neighbor with love.
Put yourself downstairs. Good morning. My name is Jan Mintz, and I'm so thrilled to welcome you here this morning to the Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living. Happy July, everybody. I know it's usually like May gray, June gloom. For me, it's July. Why? I want sun. So if you're here for the very first time and you raise your hand, our ushers will bring you a visitor's packet. because we just love having new people come and visit with us. And if you're too shy to raise your hand, you can pick one up after. Oh, we do have one. Thank you so much. Couple people, super. And again, if you're too shy, the packets are out in the foyer. You can pick them up afterwards. So I've had fun of a little funny story. Do you guys get earworms? You know, those songs that are in your head and they can't go away. So usually for me, it's religious ones because I listen to, you know, I buy the CDs from our people here, and so they're all spiritual. Every once in a while, a weird one comes in, and I start to think, well, what's the metaphysical meaning of this? Because it's here for a reason. So I don't know if you guys know this one, Learn to Fly by the Foo Fighters. Doesn't sound like it could be very metaphysical, but you know what? The phrase is, I'll make my way back home when I learn to fly. And it's like, wow, I got it. Home to the heart, fly above all this stuff. So we're here for flying lessons today, kids. And Dr. Moira is our instructor, so how cool is that? I say buckle your seatbelts and hold on. And now we're going to have musical inspiration by Joy Burnworth. So thank you, Joy, for joining us.
So many roads that seem to lead down to the sea. I wonder which road will be the right one for me. Others may fall away, dead ending left and right. But there's just one road, the journey's far out of sight. Have you wondered where your road will lead you? Maybe to a bright day of sunshine, starry night in heaven. Or it might be you're afraid to go, afraid to go. But you gotta follow your road, or you never know, never know. We're all just travelers living in a foreign land, trying to find our way best as we can, looking for an answer, trying to find some love. And though we have journeyed far, the journey's not quite far enough. Have you wondered where your road will lead you? Maybe to a bright day of sunshine, starry night in heaven. Or it might be you're afraid to go, afraid to go. You gotta follow your road, or you'll never know. You gotta follow your road, or follow your road. And maybe someday your road will take you home again. Follow your road. take you far away. Follow your road. Ooh, follow your road. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. I really enjoy her voice and her interpretation of song. Thank you. Joy Burnworth. Good morning. Dr. Moira's talk today is Healing Power. Ernest Holmes tells us on page 201 in the Science of Mind textbook, the spiritual man needs no healing. Health is an omnipresent reality. When the obstructions that hinder healing are removed, it will be found that health was there all the time. Your only responsibility is to uncover the truth. There are two fundamental tenets of Science of Mind. First is God is all there is. It's all God. The second tenet is that if I am created in the image and likeness of God, if I'm a child of God, then I am one with God, one with my Creator. I am connected with and not separated from God. Oftentimes we forget our connection and our oneness, and we go searching out there for the answer, for the solution, for the cure. Science of Mind teaches that healing is a revealing. Healing is uncovering, unfolding, and revealing the spiritual truth. It is not our responsibility to create health. It already exists. But I cannot see it. My 5 physical senses tell me otherwise. We are called to use our spiritual vision to see the truth deeper than any surface temporary condition. I once heard a story about a young lady who was newly engaged. So as to not tarnish her new ring, while cleaning and cooking, she removed her ring and carefully wrapped it in a paper napkin and set it up on the kitchen counter for safekeeping. Now, quite by accident, during the cleaning process, that precious ring ended up being thrown away into the trash can. It wasn't until later that day that she realized she did not have her ring on. And as she recalled her earlier actions, she immediately went straight to the trash can. She wasted no time digging into that garbage. Without hesitancy or reluctance, she pushed aside each and every piece of trash that was hiding her ring, every unwanted piece of garbage that was obstructing her view of her diamond. She did not quit until she located it and regained possession of it. And once she retrieved it, she quickly put it back on the finger of her left hand. This is the same process that we're called to use in the healing process. Without hesitation, we push through the trash of any undesirable condition. We brush aside discordant thoughts and ideas obstructing our view of inner perfection. We retrieve our diamond from the garbage that's covering it, whether it's the diamond of health, prosperity, or loving relationship. Simple? Yes. Easy? No. But when we are too close to a situation and we cannot see the truth, we can always use the assistance of a practitioner or a minister until such time as we regain our own spiritual vision so that we can see the truth again. Please repeat after me. Today I reveal my inner splendor. I unfold my divine perfection as health. I unfold my divine perfection as wealth. I unfold my divine perfection as love. And so it is. Please stand as we sing the congregational song.
You are the light of love, and I am the light of love. You are the light, and I am the light, and we are the light of love. You are the light of peace, and I am the light of peace. You are the light, and I am the light, and we are the light of peace. You are the light of joy, and I am the light of joy. You are the light, and I am the light, but we are the light of joy. You are the light of hope, and I am the light of hope. You are the light, and I am the light, and we are the light of hope. You are the light of love, and I am the light of love. Yes, you are the light, and I am the light, and we are the light of love. You are the light, and I am the light. Yes, we are the light of love. Excellent. We're going to welcome up Maureen to share our announcements with us.
I just love coming in here and being a teen. It helps me feel so young and youthful, so thank you. Divine Dining is back. Bidding is open and closes Sunday, July 8th at 12:30 p.m. sharp for Wine War, North versus South. Opening bid is $40 per person, and there are 18 spots. Mark Ruth will be in the foyer to answer any questions. Women's Circle is today at 12:30 p.m. in the teen room. Visioning with Dr. Moira is on Mondays at 6 p.m. Men's Spirit Group is Monday, July 2nd at 7 p.m. in the teen room. The office will be closed on Wednesday, July 4th in observance of Independence Day. Spiritual Discussion Group is Thursday, July 5th at 7 p.m. in Richelieu Hall. There will be an ordination service next Sunday, July 8th at 3 p.m. Please join us for the ordination of Reverend Catherine McKinney and Reverend Kathy Sinfield. There will be a reception following in Richelieu Hall. We have sign-up sheets at the front desk if you would like to bring an appetizer or a dessert, as well as we are looking for people to help clean up in the kitchen and help work in the kitchen. We always have practitioners on duty. Look for them in the rear of the sanctuary. This is a new thing we're trying out. They will now be in the sanctuary after service. And we also offer prayer circle after both services. If you'd like to be a part of it, please come to the grand piano after service. Please remain seated for the meditation song.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Be careful what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes our prayer. thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Take charge of what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes our prayer.
And so, beloved presence, in this moment now, I allow myself the gift of being quiet and still, the ability then to listen to the inner holy self that is always available to me. And when I contact that state, that inner state of being, there is no thing I cannot mend, fix, or heal. For in this inner state of awareness, always is available to me the amazing grace, the all-power, the all-life of spirit. And with my open receptivity to it, I move upon it so that it moves upon me in such a way that I am remembered. I am reminded of how life is one thing, and it's a unity, it's a oneness, it's a harmony. It is all and only all that creates communion and union and brings together and forms that sense of real, deep, and true community, wherein all are welcome, all are respected, all are the recipients of warmth and love and support. And the only purpose of this oneness is to be still and know. One is all there is. And so it is.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Take charge of what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes our prayer.
So good morning, everybody, and welcome into the sanctuary on this beautiful day. And before we do anything else, now we are going to welcome in our new members. And it's wonderful to have them all sitting up here, ready to be received into our wonderful community. And it brings me back, I don't know about you, to that moment when I was sitting in a row like this and being welcomed into spiritual community, particularly our spiritual community. And so I'm going to ask our beautiful people to stand now, those of you who are being received. And I have a question to ask you. And the question is, are you ready? Are you desirous of being a member of this spiritual community? Yes. Are you ready to be active participants in its life and all its goings on? Yes. You are. Well, that's a delight. I'm glad the answers were yes. And for the rest of us here today, I ask you the question, you, the community. Are you ready to receive into our community these wonderful people? And are you ready to support them and always make them feel at home, safe, received, and welcomed? Yes. Yes. And so it is. Now, at the end of the service, our beautiful new members will proceed out first, and then please do congratulate them all, have a word with them in Richelieu Hall after we adjourn here, and make them feel what we just know what it is that they have taken upon themselves, and reassure them that really and truly we are here for them, and that they can turn to any one of us at any time if ever there is a need to do that. Yes? Yes. Good. Well, at this time I usually also read what we believe, but I'm not going to read all of those articles now. I'm just going to remind us of the basic fundamental essence of what it is that we believe. And what we believe is there is one life, and that life is God life. And that life is perfect. And that life is my life, all life now. And that each and every single one of us can be a conscious revealer of the truth that sets us free, that we are indeed a unity, a oneness, a harmony, and that there is no them and us. We are all one. And that it is within us to be that unity and that receptivity to all that cross our path in a way that honors their presence and nurtures their spirit and enriches their lives. Would you agree? Yes. And so it is. And so, my dear ones, it's no surprise, as I was saying this morning, that we're entering into the month of July with the wonderful theme of revealing wholeness for the month through healing. So we get a whole month now to focus on healing. Whatever needs to be healed, we are open and receptive to healing it. And wherever we can make a difference in supporting and assisting others to heal, we're ready and available for that to happen. So as we enter into this week of the 4th of July, usually on the Sunday we celebrate the 4th of July. There is a rather large flag behind us. But there was a bit of a dispute this week with regard to should it be the Sunday before, should it be the Sunday after, because it happens in the midweek, so obviously it was decided would be the Sunday after, I imagine. That's the only reason why I can think we're not looking at this wonderful flag of ours. However, that doesn't matter. It's of little consequence because you get to be the flag. You are the flag. You are the stars. You are the stripes. You are those stars of light and rivers of grace. That's as I see the stars and stripes. And so it's beautiful to be here celebrating with you this wonderful thing that we celebrate on Wednesday. The beginning of the United States of America and the miracle that was and is. Can you imagine it? I mean, really and truly, to get this vast country to come together under one idea and one principle, that all of us, each and every one of us, is entitled to, has the right to liberty and life and the pursuit of happiness and equality, and to be one nation under God. One nation under God. That's a very important part of the statement for me and what it means. Because under God for us means under the law of life itself, under the law of good itself, under the law of truth itself. That's what it means. And as I was sharing this morning, one of the moving pictures that I look at in my mind and so on is the picture of George Washington on his knee, bowing his head in prayer at Valley Forge, knowing that of himself there was little he could do. So he needed to call forth that power and that presence within him that could support the concept of liberty and freedom for all. And then the phenomenal thing, the idea, that divine idea of a nation by the people, for the people, as the people, this nation, a nation, by the people, for the people, as the people itself. And the reminder that what tells us is that was a miracle at that time when all governments were governing as an elite few and lording it over all, that this country could actually think about the people telling the government what the needs were and what to do, rather than the other way round. That's an incredible achievement in those times. And to think that the high ideals that were presented to us in the Constitution and in the Declaration of Independence and so on, were concepts that even the founding fathers themselves were unable to live up to. But even though they themselves were unable to live up to that at that time, they knew the importance of it. They knew that this had to be, that this was the future, this was the way in the world that it had to be if we were indeed to thrive and flourish and be all that we can be, and to respect and honor the dignity of each individual, every single person being of value and worth, the same value and worth. Now, we're still working on that. As you know, we are still working on these concepts. We're still endeavoring to make this happen, to create a world that works for everyone. But think about it, that long time ago, this was already in the minds and in the hearts and in the souls of people, knowing and understanding that there's only one world, there is only one people, there's only one life, and that we're all living it, and that we all have equal value within that one life. And so that's what we can celebrate on Wednesday, when we come together with our families and with our friends, not only to be celebrating the day off and the fireworks and the great goodies to eat, but to celebrate the reason why we're doing that, the reason why we are having a holiday, a holy day, and it is a holy day, the 4th of July, as I see it. Because these values are values which are so worth embracing, sacrificing for, as many have with their lives, and still are sacrificing for the United States of America. And so what that means is, if we are to be who we are proclaimed to be, we must unite. We cannot be in separation. We cannot be living according to them and us. We cannot be living according to bias and prejudice. We cannot be for one thing and not another. As Ernest Holmes says in our teaching, we are not against anything. We are always for something. And so we have this beautiful opportunity every year to look at ourselves as a nation and see how we're doing and how we're upholding the principles upon which we came into being. I mean, it's a phenomenal thing. And my idea of what this nation stands for has always been the Statue of Liberty. I can remember the first time I flew into the United States of America, and I was flying over New York, and I saw her in the harbor. It was an amazing experience. Stunning, awesome. And the principles on which she stands, and let me tell you, those principles didn't happen overnight. When that statue was first put up. That dedication was not on the statue, and it took years before it was, so it was deliberate and thought about. Give me your tired, your poor. Bring me your huddled masses, yearning to breathe freely. Bring me those wretched refuse from your teeming shores. Bring me those in need, in other words. Bring them to me. I hold my lamp. By the golden door, bring me your poor. Now that's America. See, that's the America I'll be celebrating on Wednesday. We're an awesome, 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 awesome concept. There has been none like it before. And that's what we stand for. And that's what unites us. And that's what brings us together. We're such a hodgepodge. We're a Heinz variety. We come from all over. There's not a place where we don't come from, those of us who live here. We're such a beautiful mixture of the unity in diversity of life itself. And that's what we're celebrating this particular, especially, 4th of July. So I want to know that I can go into this celebration feeling really good about myself, good about this country, good about the world, knowing that whatever's going on in it is going on in it for some good reason, not known to us right now, rather confusing, rather upsetting, rather scary at times. But I would say to each and every one of us, fear not. There is no need to be afraid. Fear not. Do not let fear interfere with our understanding of who we are and what we are and how we can be. We've had our trials and our tribulations since the beginning of time. We've had our trials and our tribulations since the beginning of this nation being formed. We have our trials and our tribulations now. We will come through them as we always have come through them, and we'll come through them the better for having had the experience of them. There's no describing it, there's no explaining it, there's no logical, rational, satisfactory reason as to why we are so divisive and so upset with each other and so on. But there's always a way, and healing is the way. And the way for healing is very simple, really. It's a very simple way. Way back when, a couple of decades, well, more than a couple of decades ago, Emmett Fox came up with this beautiful spiritual practice called the Golden Key. He said, anything can be overcome, anything can be cured, anything can be healed, anything can be fixed and mended if we just golden key it. Now, it's something that I heard a long time ago, and something that I've understood a long time ago, but now I get it really fully. And what is it to heal oneself? What is it to golden key oneself? We'll get to that. But here's the key to America being all that America can be, and being that wonderful example to the world. We've always been thought of in wonderful ways by all of the world. It doesn't matter whether by countries that had dictatorships or whatever. Everybody looked to America. Everybody looked to America and thought, my goodness, how amazing, what a place. Everybody had this sneaking feeling within themselves, I'd like to visit that place, like to see at least Disneyland. I'd like to see that place. I'd like to get the experience of what it is to have all this availability to me. In this great land, there's no other land that affords us greater opportunities than this country. None other. Travel around the world and you'll get to know that. And so to bring us into that actual experiential awareness and happening of what it is to be in the United States of America, and part of its composition is to know that the only way America is ever great is by each and every individual in it being great. The only way for America to heal is by each individual in it to heal. The only way for America to be transformed is by each individual being transformed. The only way for America to be all that it can be is by means of you and me being all that we can be. And the only way for America to be the best of itself is by you and me being the best of ourselves. So what an opportunity you and I have at this amazing time in life and living. When all the dissension, when all the disturbance, when all the truculence and turbulence is raging, our opportunity as individuals is to get quieter and stiller and more peaceful than ever, and to be more inclined to listen than to speak, and to be more inclined to be helpful rather than a hindrance, and to be more inclined to see beyond all the appearances as we are learning, studying, and practicing to do. And the more that each individual one of us can align ourselves and pacify ourselves and bring ourselves to a sense of peace and poise, then it automatically happens that America will do likewise, because you and I, you are America. There's no other America. America, and what it stands for has to do with the people who live in it. We cannot keep responding to them and us. We cannot keep separating. We must come together and understand there's no them and us. There's the one life, the only life, the God life. And yours and mine is the privilege of living it, the privilege of living it. So we have to stop adding fuel to the fire. We have to stop allowing ourselves to get all het up over this one being a this or that one being another, or he said that and she said this, and can you believe it, and so on. Silence is much better. Silence is much better. How do you think we're going to be able to get along with each other if we do not understand that opinion and thought and ideas must be informed, and when it is informed, perhaps be reformed, and that out of a prayerful, contemplative consideration of whatever, we may be able to come to some conclusion that brings us together and not pulls us apart. We've got to get along. Rodney King said it. Why can't we just get along with each other? We've got to get along with each other, because as long as we are saber-rattling and shaking our fists at each other and bawling and shouting at each other, nothing's going to happen to raise the energy that needs to be raised on this planet right now. And there's a whole lot of scare tactics and fear-mongering going on. We will not be afraid. We must not be afraid, because it is written, "Fear not, for that which is within you is greater than that which is in the world," and certainly within the world of politics. We must not be afraid. My goodness me, people are afraid to speak to each other when it comes to religion and politics. I was just talking with John this morning in Richelieu Hall about that. Why are we afraid to talk about such important things? Because we're entrenched in our own understanding of what that is. And we're closed, absolutely closed-minded to there possibly being another way of thinking around this topic. One power, one presence, one infinite being, one world, one people, one nation, one. Ernest Holmes sums everything up into the importance of understanding one. That would be his word. That would be his word for summing it all up. So where are we in all of this? I don't know about you, but very often when I happen to be listening to news, and it could be in my own house or anybody else's house, or when I hear a story or something like that, I find myself crying. Tears are rolling down my eyes a lot. I can't believe it. I can't believe that people are suffering like that. I can't believe that we are inflicting upon each other suffering like that. I can't believe so many things. But then what I do is golden key it, and that's the key, the message. What is it? What is it? How do we get there? When we golden key something, here's what we do. We become aware of the problem, of the fear, of the anxiety. We're clearly aware of it, and then we say to ourselves, I will now golden key that. Golden keying is taking your mind away from that fear, that concern, that problem, that situation, and putting your mind on God. Now, God is the good, God is the whole, God is the complete, God is the fullness, and God is the plenty. So I recognize I am really afraid right now, and I'm going to do something about it. And what I'm going to do about it is I'm going to golden key it. And I guarantee you, if you get into the practice of golden keying everything, your life will be blissful, your life will be peaceful, your life will be joyful, no matter what. So if I am afraid or anxious about whatever it is, whether it's health or whether it's prosperity or whether it's a relationship or whatever the problem happens to be, work, I see it and I say, yes, this is what concerns me. And then what I do is I go into the fullness and the allness of the Godhood of life. And I associate myself with it and I identify with it. And so my sense and sensibility and my prayer is, or my quietness is purely steeped and based in recognition, gratitude, praise, love, and blessing. Recognition, gratitude, praise, love, and blessing, and that's all I have to do. So if I am indeed scared and frightened in an unsettled world, I'm going to go into that inner state where all is one and all is peace and poise. And so I praise and I bless and I thank and I love and I honor and respect the Holy Self within myself and within all of life. I praise and raise and bless and thank, and that's all I do, nothing else. I'm in praise, I'm in blessing, I'm in love. I'm in peace, I'm in joy, because I'm one with my source, and all of these things, attributes, are what source is. So I enjoy being in the company as peace, as life, as light, as love, as forgiveness, as plenty, as fullness, as wholeness, as all the deep desire to know fully the God that lives in and through and by means of me and all else besides. To just be in that energy that is so uplifting and so healing and so advancing and so wondrous that you cannot even put it into words. So my whole way of handling everything and anything that crosses my path that is anything of a concern is raised and praised and blessed and loved, not in ponderance upon it, but in ponderance only upon the wholeness and the fullness and the plenty that lives and moves and has its being in me, and how great it is for me to recognize it, how great it is for me to know it, how great it is for me to feel it and allow it and believe it and trust it and honor it in that way. That's how we handle what needs to be handled in our lives when it comes to necessity, when it comes to a need, when it comes to a situation. That's how we do it. And let me tell you, 5 minutes of that intensity is enough to wipe clean any sense and sensibility of division and separation and anxiety and fear. It truly is. For I am the Christ mind, I am the God body, I am one with the one. And if I can get into that, if I can really get into that, then everything is taken care of. Everything. So healing, healing, healing is what brings us all together. It's what takes care of our own lives and the life of all else besides. And that healing happens when I'm in life, in light, in love, in peace, in beauty, in power. No other way. No other way. I'm in the power that is the one thing that responds to me, because consciousness rules. And when my consciousness is set in this sense and sensibility and this energy, everything is taken care of. The mind is worked on, the body is worked on, the emotion is worked on, the soul is worked on, the body of my affairs is worked on, the body of all affairs is worked on. And as a result of that, all life is raised, all life is advanced, all life is absolutely, stunningly lightened. And that's the power that you have, and that's the power that I have. And thanks be to God, in this country, I can indeed enjoy my freedom and my liberty. I can enjoy my privilege of becoming whatever it is I decide to become. I can have the support of a constitution that supports me succeeding and achieving. That's what we have, and not everybody has it. And it's all available to us. And I am knowing that America is stronger for you being in it, for you accepting the responsibility to be equal to the great life that you can live, and to support your spiritual advancement, and to be dedicated to becoming spiritually skilled, spiritually mature, so that all you have to do is simply be your best self and nothing else. That's all you have to do to make a difference, is to be your best self. That's all. No other thing to do or to be. Just become, in experience and in expression, your best self, because you can. You can. We are free to do that. We are free to be that. We have it going for us. It is available to us. So, physician, heal thyself, as the great master teacher announced and commanded. Physician, heal thyself. Self, raise the self. Another great command in the Bhagavad Gita. So what is it going to be? I know that on the 4th of July, I will feel good about life and living here, and good about all that we have to offer to each other and to our world. And I know that God, the infinite being, is a very real and present help in the midst of us all. And in conclusion now, I'm going to ask Reverend Mary, where are you? To come and sing The Lady of the Harbor to conclude. And to remind us who we are.
I think I wrote the song so I won't forget the words. Okay. What are you? Oh, go higher. Oh, okay. Okay. She is the lady of the harbor. She holds a light of liberty. Beneath her watchful gaze, she lets you know that you are home. You are home. Far from across the ocean, from many distant lands, brave men and women ventured in search of a new life, in search of a new land. America, America. Well, the world knows you're red, white, and blue. And the vision of our nation is built on these inherent truths. There is one world, one people, one nation. There is one love. We learn from history to stand for what we believe, to keep our heads but to listen to our hearts. Hear the resounding declaration. It's the spirit of our nation. America, America. Well, the world knows you're red, white, and blue. And the vision of our nation is built on these inherent truths. There is one world, one people, one nation. There is one love. There are brave men and women who with undaunted courage have given of their lives so that we can be free. So let us not forsake them, for they have not died in vain. And they teach us that we have roots and we have wings. America, America. Yes, the world knows you're red, white, and blue. The vision of our nation is built on these inherent truths. There is one love, one people, one nation. There is one love, there is one love, there is one love. She is the lady of the harbor. Thank you, thank you. Thank you all. Thank you.
And so that's what we'll be celebrating on the 4th. And we'll be thinking of all of each other and everything and everyone in our world, because the world is ours too. We're not just a nation, we're a global community. And so we're going to have, we're going to have our little ceremony of reciprocity here, where we get to give from our fullness and know that that fullness is never depleted by this kind of giving. And we bless our gift and know it goes forth to do great good, and it does. So let's take our gift between our hands and say, divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper all those who give and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my gift with love, and so it is.
Nothing high, nothing low can keep me from it. Nothing close, nothing far can keep me from it. Nothing high, nothing low can keep me from it. Nothing far, nothing close can can keep me from it. I'm more than a conqueror because you love me. Nothing can separate me from your love, from your love, from your love. Nothing can separate me from your love, from your love, from your love. Nothing high, nothing low can keep me from it. And nothing far, nothing close can keep me from it. I'm more than a conqueror because you love me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Nothing can separate me from your love, from your love, from your love. Nothing can separate me from your love, 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 from your love. I am persuaded that neither life nor death can keep me from it. Your love, I am persuaded that neither height nor depth can keep me from it. Your love, I am persuaded that neither height nor depth can keep me from it. Your love, I am persuaded that neither height nor depth can keep me from it. Your love, I am persuaded that neither height nor depth can keep me from it. I am persuaded that neither life nor death can keep me from it. Your love, I am persuaded, I am persuaded, I am convinced of it. I am persuaded, I am persuaded, I am convinced of it because I'm more than a conqueror because you love me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Nothing can separate me from your love, from your love, from your love. Nothing can separate me from your love, from your love, from your love. Nothing can separate me from your love, from your love, from your love, from your love. Nothing can separate me from your love, 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 from your love. Thank you.
Joy. She certainly brings joy with her when she arrives. Do you have your CDs with you? No. Do you have your CDs? No. All right. Next time. Next time. And of course, the amazing trio Andy and Oliver and Bruce. Well, we'd be a sad world without music, that's for sure. And so we also have something wonderful coming up now, and that is the celebration of wonderful Noble's transition. We were supposed to be celebrating his 95th birthday today, but the family decided that it would be good to go ahead and celebrate anyway, so they made sure we were going to have a cake for the occasion. And he himself wanted this. A month or so ago, he got in touch with the center and he said, I want everybody to celebrate with me my 95th birthday, and I want them all to have a nice cake. So we're having the nice cake now, but instead of his birthday, we're celebrating his rebirth day. And so it'll be a wonderful occasion. And so we'll be thinking of him and his family as we indulge in that wonderful cake that awaits us in Richelieu Hall. Know that everything you do is appreciated, everything you think has an effect, everything you feel brings around brings about a mood and a feeling, and all that you do affects everything. So that's a powerful, awesome thing to know. That's why we're going to be doing and being as the best of ourselves, yes? Indeed, the holy self, always be in touch with that. And so for our concluding prayer, we're going to have, instead of the concluding prayer, we're going to have the prayers of presidents in the past for the United States of America. And then we'll conclude with God Bless America. I think he's got it there lined up. Lower the lights. Yes, thank you, Paul.
Let us, young and old, join together, as did the First Continental Congress, in the first step in humble, heartfelt prayer. Let us do so for the love of God and His great goodness, in search of His guidance and the grace of repentance. Almighty Father, if it is your holy will that we shall obtain a place and name among the nations of the earth, grant that we may be enabled to show our gratitude for your goodness by our endeavors to fear and obey you. Save us from violence, discord, and confusion, from pride and arrogance, and from every evil way. Defend our liberties, and fashion into one united people the multitude brought hither out of many kindreds and tongues. Endow with your spirit of wisdom those whom in your name we entrust the authority of government, that there may be justice and peace at home, and that through obedience to your law we may show forth your praise among the nations of the earth. In time of prosperity, fill our hearts with thankfulness, and in the day of trouble, suffer not our trust in you to fail. With malice toward none, with charity for all, with firmness in the right as you give us to see the right, let us finish the work we are in, to bind up the nation's wounds, to care for him who shall have borne the battle, and for his widow, and for his orphans. Continue to guide and sustain us in the great unfinished tasks of achieving peace, justice, and understanding among all men and nations, and of ending misery and suffering wherever they exist. For we are given power not to advance our own purposes, nor to make a great show in the world, nor a name. There is but one just use of power, and it is to serve people. Help us to remember it, Lord. God be with us as you were with our fathers. May you not leave us or forsake us, so that we may incline our hearts to you, to walk in all your ways, that all peoples of the earth may know that the Lord is God. There is no other. Amen.
And now we'll stand for our song. Unite our minds and hearts with all other Americans and the world as we sing our song.